reply that includes recognizing the media. Very important part of what we do daily, although sometimes we forget that the media are very important to us. I want to express my gratitude for honoring me once again to grace the conference, the LGAZ, and the 22nd General Assembly of AMICAALL. I don't take this for granted because it's not a right that the President must always be officiating at such functions. But I want to congratulate you, LGAZ President, and your team for being re-elected into your positions, and also for ascending into the SADC ranks. Congratulations, and we look forward to working with you and your team. And when I say team, I mean all the leaders at the local government level across the country, and 16 districts of our country. But also, I know that it's not just the leaders, but the workers, the executives that run our local authorities, and equally important, the councillors. The councillors that are elected at the lowest level, community level. Before the member of parliament, sometimes we pronounce members of parliament prominent all the time. Councillors are there, and most councillors live with the people every day. There wouldn't be a council, a local authority, I'm already saying, without council workers. So we take you collectively as an important arm of not just governance, but leadership, but developmental delivery. Very important. So, your theme is clear: financing, service delivery, sustainable growth, inclusion. Now, I was thinking, said, how do I, or what focus should I deliver at this year's conference? I thought it's important to stay in line with your theme, but I also took the liberty to focus on certain elements of your theme. That in my view, if we deliver on those elements, or that element, we will be able to deliver on other aspects of your theme consequentially. And it's a bias that I take myself as the one you elected to superintend over the affairs of 20 million citizens. Now, decentralization is an ongoing exercise. Centralization was pronounced a long time ago in our country. As the minister has said, many governments have come before us, and I do believe they meant well, but somewhat did not deliver much on walking the talk of decentralization. What this government has done to carry on where those governments before us left, because governments are living things. Governments with an institutional memory of what was done by those before us and what ought to continue to be done by those that come. This government is committed to furthering the decentralization agenda. Fully committed. Because we know the importance of decentralization. We know the importance of developmental decisions being made by people at the grassroots level. Bottom up. And that is why we have walked the talk by providing a larger resource envelope to you, the local authorities, through the instrument called the Constituency Development Fund. From a paltry 1.6 million kwacha per constituency per year, yet we were pronouncing our support for decentralization. Truly, we were negating decisions and mechanisms that will support our pronouncements of decentralization. So from 1.6 million kwacha per year per constituency to a percentage you cannot even calculate on your small calculator, to 36.1 million kwacha per constituency per year. I think that's walking the talk. Yes. Because you can't pronounce decentralization without providing the instruments, the facilitation, and one of those big instruments, critical ones, is financing. We clearly were aware of why we were doing that and the importance of doing it. Most of the government public funds were spent in Lusaka at the center for many years, probably for 56 years of our 60 plus years of independence. When every year the budget was pronounced, as we all know, this is the instrument for generating revenue, public revenues, and directing expenditure. We loosely call it the national budget. That's the true meaning. Most of that money was decided and spent around Lusaka. Chongwe, you are lucky because you are used to be part of Lusaka in that sense. So really, the lion's share of that money went in Lusaka. But even that which was spent, the paltry amount spent in the regions, it's not just cities I'm talking about, equalization funds, you can mention. The decisions to spend that money were still being made in Lusaka. Am I right? Am I talking the truth here? Now, we are committed to walking this talk as this huge change, quantum, in the quantum of resources allocated to the local authorities. The issue is not resolved because of that CDF alone. We would like to see more resources going down to where you are. Yeah. So, you must demonstrate that you are able to utilize these resources effectively. You must demonstrate that you are able to service deliver for the people of Zambia who own the resources anyway. We are just managers of the people's resources, central government and local government and other public institutions. I must say, even the private institutions, private businesses who also benefit from these resource allocations, such as your sponsors. Most of your sponsors are also stakeholders and the beneficiaries of these resources because they sell goods and services to you, the local authorities, for you to deliver services to the people. I don't want to raise the complication in the conversation. I will return it to simplicity levels. But truly, this is the connection I make myself. If local government delivers, central government has delivered, isn't it? Very simple. If local government has delivered to the people, it means central government has delivered. Because local government and central government are connected at the umbilical level. They're essentially one and the same. The segregation, the separation is for the structuring which is necessary segmentation which is necessary for delivery to happen. That's the way I see it. So sometimes it's unnecessary to point the finger at each other. We are actually one team. And I'll say a few more things about this. Finance. I am very clear in my mind. And I'm driving this point to cabinet. Cabinet ministers, cabinet office, PSCs, other staff at central government level. That we must ensure that more resources are raised and retained at the local government level. We are doing trial runs now, for example, on revenues associated with licensing, so that you can raise money through licenses and actually retain, for example, water bill, retain the resources at the local level. But you must account for those resources. You must service deliver. I'm going around your theme, our theme. Your theme is our theme. So, we will do more of this. Secretary of the Cabinet is seated there. In Chongwe last year, we had a session where we handed over a number of services, isn't it, Mr. Governor, from central government to local government. We can't just hand over the services, which is part of delivery, without compensating resource allocations. That's the logic. That's the logic. And that resource envelope is from central government, yes, plus what you will be generating, or what you already generated, what you will be generating, and also the partners. I listened very carefully to the UN system, our Canadian colleagues, our German colleagues. That must be